Hello traders, good day to you all. Today is the 3rd of September 2014. This is a daily market review for the current market status. We've already received the major amount of announcements that we were expecting to see today. I can tell you that the Australian dollar got a lot of attention in terms of liquidity. We will analyze the behavior of the Australian dollar in a second. Just saying that the pound received good announcement, expressed a bit of strength today, not too much, and the Canadian dollar expressed a lot of strength. We had no change in the overnight rate since the last announcement, and still the bank statement was very effective on the currency itself, and we saw a lot of strength on behalf of the Canadian dollar. We will analyze that in a second. Tomorrow we will have the retail sales and trade balance in the Australian dollar regarding the Australian dollar, and the monetary policy statement in Japan, Bank of Japan press conference, and that's a tentative announcement. We don't have a specific indication for that, so we can just expect to see liquidity generally in the market. Let's do an analysis for the Japanese yen today. Let's see where it's heading. You all know that the Japanese yen is a dominant currency, meaning that it's moving up and down in front of all the trade of our assets. Generally, climbing up will express uptrend in front of all the assets with the same amount of strength. So let's find the potential of the dominance of Japanese yen on his side on that end. Pound, another good potential for announcements. I'd like you to see that usually we don't have a lot of change in these announcements, the bank rate and the purchase facility. Over here you can see that indeed for the past 6 months and even more than that, we basically see the same indication, and even the rate itself haven't been changing for the past year and a half. So we can say that we're not expecting to see a lot of liquidity out of this announcement, but usually what happens is when the announcement is coming out, still giving up the same indication as forecast, we can still see some changes according to the announcement occurring on the asset from the announcement. We've got the rate statement over here. Again, it's tentative announcement, and again after that we'll have a very, very important announcements, one after the other. Bid rate in Euro, non-farm employment change in the United States, trade balance in Canada, press conference in Europe, trade balance in the United States, unemployment claims. And we've been talking about that already. So a lot of assets at the same time will deliver a lot of announcements, a lot of liquidity in the market is expected out of the announcement, and really I'm just looking forward to this one. No question about that. So a very, very important date tomorrow in terms of announcement. Let's look at the chart. Let's try to figure out what is the potential. Um, Going back to the Japanese yen, let's look at the Japanese yen. Let's look at the Japanese yen for the long term, a daily chart on all the assets. Well, looking at the Japanese yen in front of many assets, we can see that we've received a corrective pattern, a sideways corrective pattern in front of the euro and the Swiss franc, and we've got a potential for downtrend in front of the New Zealand and in front of the pound as well. And the Canadian dollar is expected to drop down as well. So looking at the strong currencies that we've got today, I can tell you that the assessment is to see a strong Japanese yen as an outcome of tomorrow's announcement. We saw several announcements from the Bank of Japan, tentative announcement, and my assessment is that the Japanese yen is going to gain strength out of the structure that we can see over here. I'm looking at the daily chart, I'm looking at the long-term cycles, and apparently it seems like the Japanese yen is expected to gain strength in the market. I do assume that tomorrow will be the initial fire when we'll actually see the beginning of movements occurring on the chart. So stay tuned for the Japanese yen. Again, it's an assessment regarding the cycles. Good potential to see stronger Japanese yen in the market. Let's move forward and look at the commodities. I've been talking about the gold dropping down toward the 1250 rate. We've got it over here. We've already visited the 1260 and bounced back up again. Still, I want you to look at the structure because it's an amazing structure. To remind you, I've been talking about this triangle, and I said that once the triangle will complete the structure, then we will see the market falling down. We've received the market falling down, a pullback, and right now we're moving forward, another pullback and another downtrend movement. Now let's look at the structure itself in terms of waves. Let's try to figure out what is the potential over there. So we've received the first 1 and 2, that's the triangle, basically the beginning, that's 1 and 2 climbing up. Then we've received the third, the fourth, and right now we're in the fifth wave. Right now we can see 1, 2, 3, 4 will form as an uptrend over here, and a fifth will fall down toward the 1250. That is my assessment regarding the gold. After that we'll see a deeper corrective pattern or another impulse movement climbing up. Therefore we will need to make another assessment, but at the moment a bit more uptrend on behalf of the gold and stronger downtrend toward the 1250. That's my prediction for the gold. Let's move forward to the dollar in front of the Russian ruble. Very nice movement that we've received over here for the past several days. Strong, significantly strong dollar in front of Russian ruble because what's going on right now regarding Russia and Ukraine. Let's look at the larger image on an hourly chart, sorry, a daily chart. We can see again a very nice and clean image. I remind you that over here I stated that once the market reached this peak, I said that I'm expecting to see fluctuation level around this line because of this support and resistance line, and I do expect this chart to break the line and climb higher. Indeed, we received a very clean uptrend movement, but since then we received a pullback. Now, why did we receive a pullback? Let's go to the dollar index and let's see what happened regarding the dollar specifically. So the dollar index on the daily chart shows that we've received a fluctuation level. Before that, we've received an impulse movement climbing up. Let's look at the lower time frame chart. Again, this uptrend movement was earlier. So all along this uptrend movement expressed strength on behalf of the dollar, and it was expressed in front of the Russian ruble. But since then, since we've reached that peak, and I was expecting to see a downtrend movement on the dollar index, indeed we can see a pullback, and therefore we can see a pullback in front of the Russian ruble as well. Obviously, it's not only because of the dollar itself, but also because of geopolitical issues that we've got over there. But at the moment, we can say that both the Russian ruble and the dollar are aiming toward the same direction on the chart. The dollar losing strength and the Russian ruble is gaining strength. Another good incentive that we can base our opinion on is the euro versus the Russian ruble. Again, approximately the same structure on this chart. Again, an uptrend movement for the past several days and then a breakdown. We've got a 1, 2, 3 forming at the fourth at the moment, and still a good potential to see downtrend movement on this asset. That is a good entry point for a put option for a short position on the euro versus the Russian ruble. Another very important asset that I'd like to analyze is the dollar versus the Canadian dollar. We've said that we're looking forward for tomorrow's announcement regarding the Canadian dollar. Let's have a daily chart analysis on this one. So what we've got right now is a bit of a change in plan from my assessment yesterday. I said that I was assuming that this is the end of the corrective pattern, and I'm assuming that we will see a straightforward uptrend movement on this chart. Right now, because this is a very clean, very strong pullback, it's not so logical in terms of corrective pattern that I was expecting to see. My assessment regarding this chart is that we received a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, and a 5. And right now we're forming the A wave, the B wave we've already formed, and the C wave will drop down, and then we will receive the uptrend that I was expecting to see. So a bit more patience on this chart. If you're already trading on this one and you've taken the trade over here, close the position and wait for additional information. If you'd like to participate in short position over here, that's logical movement that we can manage to trade for the next several days. Again, I do expect the dollar to lose strength tomorrow. I'm expecting the euro to lose strength tomorrow, and I'm expecting the Canadian dollar to gain strength tomorrow. That is my assessment according to the charts that I'm analyzing. Traders, I'd like to wish you all the best with your trades. Have a pleasant week, and bye-bye.